Heroes of the Euros, Dani Olmo. Now, he's being linked with a move to Barcelona. And this guy really cooked in the Euros. I mean, when Pedri went down injured, a lot of people were like, yo, Spain might be cooked. Like, what are they going to do? And Dani Olmo stepped up. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think Spain missed Pedri at all. He looked really good during the Euros, scoring goals, creating chances, linking play with Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams. And with him being at Leipzig, he is looking for a move to a bigger club. Because let's be real, RB Leipzig, they are a stepping stone. And it looks like Barcelona are trying to bring this guy back to the club. Because I believe he is from La Masia, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I don't know how Barca are going to get this deal done, right? Because everybody tells me that they're broke. So where is the 60 million coming from? Especially with them trying to go and sign Nico Williams. If they go get Nico Williams, you can't go get Dani Olmo as well, right? Unless maybe Barcelona are lying about their financial situation. I don't know. That's what I think. I don't think they're as broke. And I don't want to keep saying that every single time. But yeah, Dani Olmo is like a really good player, right? This is why you see Barcelona. This is why you see Man City all looking around trying to sign him. I don't think he's a world-class player. I just think he's good, right? And I don't think he will ever be world-class. Obviously, if he goes to a club like Man City or Barcelona, and if he performs well there, and if he's cooking, then obviously, we'll have to revisit that conversation. But I think he'd be a good player to have. I mean, he could play as a 10. He can also play on either wing. And it's like what you saw in the Euros, right? He creates goals. He scores goals as well when he gets opportunities. He can also slow down the game, can link play. He's very technical. And he does come off as a Barcelona signing. On top of that, he's Spanish. So, of course, he'd want to come back and play for one of the biggest clubs in Spain, especially a club that he spent time at as a kid. But again, just what are the finances going to be like to get this deal done? And Barcelona's midfield is pretty decent, right? They got Gundo, Frankie de Jong, Pedri. Gavi's going to be coming back from injury, right? And there's probably other players that I'm forgetting there as well. But now, if you're able to add a Dani Olmo to that, I mean, it sounds good. They're going to want to compete against Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, right? For La Liga, for Copa del Rey, for the Spanish Super Cup, for, all these other trophies. They're also going to want to go deep in the Champions League. So they're kind of in a weird situation right now. And I do believe that Barca are going to spend money, regardless of whatever the reports might try and tell us, because I don't believe that Hansi Flick would have agreed to join them if they didn't give him any assurances on new transfers. So let's see what they do with Nico Williams, because I think that would kind of decide whether they go in for a Dani Olmo. I can't see them getting both. But if they did get both, that would be a little bit crazy. If I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, I don't know if RB Leipzig would want to sell him right now. He has a big role in what they do with their squad. But let's be honest, RB Leipzig, all that they're just trying to do is come top 4, maybe. Finish in the Champions League spot. They're not trying to win trophies. We know that they're basically a feeder club for Bayern Munich, like how every other team is in the Bundesliga. So it shouldn't really be an issue being able to take him off of them. And I don't know if he has a release clause or not. But yeah, the reports say that, Barca have sent Dani Olmo's agent an offer for a 6-year contract, and the club are willing to pay Leipzig 60 million for his transfer. It's crazy. I mean, let's see if he does get that big move. So far, Man City and Barcelona, those are clubs that are being linked to him. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Dani Olmo going back to Spain to link up with Lamine Yamal, right? Have Robert Lewandowski as the striker. Maybe you got Pedri there, Gavi, Gundo, Frankie de Jong. You're going to be able to rotate some of those midfielders. Look, I know me being a Madrid fan, I actually want Barcelona to sign some good players, because I'm kind of, how I see it going right now, the next few years, it's not going to really look good for them, okay? Because what we got going on at Madrid, some madness. But I actually do want the league to be competitive. I want El Clasicos to be competitive, right? So When people are talking about, oh, Barcelona have Lamine Yamal, and they're going to get Nico Williams, and they're going to get this guy, I'm like, good. Let them have that, right? Let them have Lamine Yamal, and they could be happy with that. Let them go sign Nico Williams. Let them go get Dani Olmo. I want them to have a strong squad, because when we beat the brakes off them, it's going to be even better knowing that they went full strength and they're still not on our level. But I do want the league to be competitive. I do want El Clasicos to be competitive, because nowadays, like ever since Ronaldo and Messi left, and it's going to be really hard to ever replicate what those two guys have done. Maybe not in our lifetimes, but it seems like El Clasicos don't really mean as much anymore, right? Like, obviously, to Barca and Real Madrid fans, we care. But just in general, just in like the world of football, like I remember when the games were going on, people were like, "Oh yeah, El Clasico's today. Yeah, I guess we'll watch that." And that's because Barca are a joke. Barca are a shell of their former selves, right? They've been run down into the ground, right? A bunch of corruption, all this stuff that's been happening, and now they're just mid, right? Xavi just left. Like, it's not really looking good for like their president. What's the guy's name? Jean Laporta. He seems more interested in focusing on Real Madrid than he is on focusing on his own team. So yeah, I actually do want Barca to get their shit together, because I want I don't want to beat a weak Barca. I want to beat Barca when they have a good squad too. I want the league to be competitive. I want El Clasicos to mean something again, to be more interesting, so that people aren't really laughing at La Liga like that. Even though I believe La Liga is the best league in the world in terms of style of play. But yeah, so hopefully they can go get Dani Olmo. It doesn't really bother me too much. I don't really think it matters who they get. Barca, you guys are in for a lot of pain these next few seasons, bro. It's not going to be pretty. But, you know, we thank you for your participation in all these ass whippings that we're about to give you guys. But yeah, let me know what you think about Dani Olmo possibly going